In today's video, I'm going over two $100 per day or more keywords for Audible ACX and Amazon KDP for the month of October. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dane, and on this channel I talk all about self-publishing books on Amazon, on entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So if that kind of thing interests you, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. In today's video, I'll be going over two $100 per day or more keywords for Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing and Audible ACX. Now, these two keywords are a bit related. They're not exactly completely related, but you could make a bundle out of them. So they are two good keywords that are compatible if you're looking to make that bundle and get that third free book. What I mean by bundle, if you're not aware of it, is that when you make a bundle on KDP, it's when you have two different topics. So if you have hydroponics for beginners, so a gardening book, and then houseplants for beginners, something like that, you can go ahead and make them into a bundle. So you have the one single, the second single, and then the bundle. So you have three total books out of all those two books that you made. And the bundle that you made is just a combination of those two books. So it's basically a free book. So I usually try to make these keyword videos about two keywords that are kind of similar, so you can make a bundle of them if you were to pursue both of them. So anyways, the two keywords in this video are the first one I'm going to be showing you. I'll talk about them in a second. It's going to be one that's more focused on Amazon KDP, but you can get away with it if you go with it on Audible ACX as well. But I would suggest sticking to KDP with it because it's more of a visual based book, because you can't really have a visual book in audio format. The second keyword, though, actually has quite a bit of potential when it comes to Audible. So we'll go over that in just a second. So without further ado, let's show on my computer. I'll show you the first keyword, why I think it has potential, why you should go with it if you're interested in it, and then I'll show you the second one and do the same thing. So let's show on my computer and go over these. Okay, so as you can see, we're in my computer here now, and a first keyword on the screen is palm reading. All right, so that's top here. And I'll go over why it's a popular keyword in just a second, but if you're not familiar with how I pick my keywords for these videos, let me just give you a quick rundown. First thing I make sure I do is I go into incognito mode up here, okay? And this is just so we can avoid having any cache related issues skew the results that we search up on Amazon.com. Secondly, you're gonna wanna make sure you have a Chrome extension like BookBeam, for example here, which is gonna show us some crucial numbers like the number of competitors. It's gonna show us the average amount of reviews, average pricing, all those kind of things. But the main numbers we're looking at are the competitors and the average BSR here top left. Those are the two things that BookBeam is gonna show us in terms of finding profitable keywords on Amazon for books. And if you want to get BookBeam on your computer so you can follow along as I do this, it's a link down in the description down below. You can get it for 10% off by using my code Dane10. And BookBeam is definitely one of the best extensions to do this with. It has many other features on top of just what I'm going to show you today. So taking a look here, the first thing I'm going to look at is making sure that this keyword, before we even dive into a keyword, is making sure that it autofills the Amazon search bar, which means there's going to be demand for that keyword. People are actually searching for it. So if I type in the word palm, you're going to see palm reading is the very first one that pops up. So that's kind of how I found this keyword in the first place. And the next thing you're going to look up is the results. And typically speaking, we're looking for around 4,000 to 5,000 or less results. So 1,000 would be even better. In this case, we have 6,000. So it's just a bit over, which isn't too bad. It's not the end of the world or anything like that. But the general consensus is around 5K or 4K or less. Okay, but 6K, not too bad. The next thing we're gonna look at is the average BSR. And right now, without me removing any outliers, which I'll explain in just a second, it's at 322,000. So that's not actually a bad keyword right off the bat. Once I click the BookBeam extension up here top right, you can see it has all of the first 16 results for that particular book, or 15 in this case, usually it's 16. For that particular book, for that keyword. And you can see there are a lot of them. And what you can do here is remove the outliers. So what I mean by that is if you look here, ranking, you can see that the BSR for the first ranking book is 17,000, which is very good. It's a very low BSR. The next book is 50,000. This one is 600K. So that one's definitely an outlier, that's what we call it. So it's not really supposed to be there. So we're going to remove that. And you're going to see that's going to drop the average BSR. And then we can move is probably this 800K and this 500K here. So once I do that, you see the BSR goes down to 230. I think there's one with like close to 1 million, which is this one. We'll remove that as well. And we're gonna get that BSR right to around 170. That's gonna give us a more accurate representation of what the average book on the first page is ranking at. And when we're looking at average BSR, we're looking for around 150K or so, 150 to 200,000 for it to have potential and be a book or a keyword that we should maybe look into and maybe create a book about. So that means there's a lot of demand for this book. 170K, that's very good. You can see you can turn off the photos if you don't want them. That's a new feature. I like that, actually, to be honest with you, with the photos. So let me get that out of the way. The next thing I'm gonna look at is the average amount of reviews, which is 700, which is a little bit higher than you want it to be. But I'm gonna look at the books specifically. You just typically don't want more than like 4 or 5 of them to be over 1,000 reviews. So this first one has over 1,000 reviews, which is okay. We can still compete with this. It just means when there's books with tons of reviews, it means that there's a bit of competition there, and it's gonna be hard for us to match that with our books. So it might be difficult to get on this first page. But you can see this one has 300, 40, 400, 100, 12, 15, 96. So as we scroll down lower, there's not a whole lot of books with thousands of reviews at all. There's only one that's over 1,000. So again, if we get like maybe 50 reviews onto our book, it can be very simple to get on the first page for palm reading on Amazon. So that's why I liked this book, even though at a first glance, it's not the best looking. Once you get in there, remove some of the outliers, and you take a look deeper at the amount of reviews and that kind of thing, it is a keyword that has potential for you to make a book about and do well with. And again, there's tons of similar topics when it comes to palm reading that you can make different books about and make bundles about, or a series. So I do like this keyword for the month of October. Moving into the second keyword here, which is astrology for beginners. Another for beginner, actually that's one for beginners, just palm reading. This one is for beginners. So like I said earlier, these things are kind of similar. You could make a bundle out of the two of them. It's up to you if you want to do that, or you can make completely separate books. It's totally fine. But this one I do like a little bit more than the palm reading one, even though the BSR is a little higher, and I've already removed the outliers. Okay, so there's a few outliers in here that I did remove, and it's down to, oh, it's not showing it there. Once you remove the outliers, though, it's 164. So it's around the same thing as the palm reading book I just showed you. So again, there is demand for this type of book. And again, 6,000 results, which isn't too bad. You can compete with that. Personally, I would have thought the topic of astrology for beginners would have more competitors, but this one doesn't, so it's not too bad. 6,000. Average reviews on this one is a lot lower, which is even better. So as we scroll through, the first one has 1,000. It's usually the case with most keywords, so don't worry about that if you see it. Scrolling down though, you can see not a lot of books with thousands of reviews at all, if any. Some of them have 0, 300. I think I saw one with 400 or 150 there. 300, 140. So not too bad, to be honest with you. So if you had a book around 25 to 50 reviews, you could definitely get onto this first page. And if you had a good quality cover that was attention grabbing, you could definitely rank on the first page and get good sales paired with a good book description, good book, etc., etc. You'll have a good book that can rank on the KDP side for this keyword. So I do like it. Again, you can bundle it with a lot of things. And with astrology for beginners, the first book, you could say you can make it all about astrology. It's a general astrological book. And then after that, you can make tons of subtopics into singular books that are all related to astrology. So I think this is a very powerful keyword for you to get into if this kind of thing excites you and interests you. But the other best part is that if we go onto Audible and we do astrology for beginners, the first thing I'm looking for on Audible, let's go back to the homepage of Audible, is that it autofills the search bar, again, similar to Amazon. So if I go astrology, you'll see that it's literally the third one that is recommended. So that means that there's other people searching it. So if I click it, we'll see there's only 80 results. So, I mean, that's very, very low. Not a whole lot of competition on Audible. And you can see the average BSR on Audible is 140. So I can go in here and I can remove a few outliers. They're all pretty similar though. I can't remove a whole lot of them. 200, they're all pretty similar. So usually on Audible, you want it to be below 50K. But the thing is with Audible, it is always worth it just to put your book on there and get it on there and rank higher for that particular page. So there's not a lot of competitors here. So if you were to get an audiobook made out of your astrology for beginners KDP book, there's not a lot of competition. So you can get to that first pot on this page. Like if you get to one of these top 3 results, you're going to be making passive income on Audible from that book. And all you really got to pay for is a cover and for it to be narrated. And then it's on Audible. It's doing well. And obviously you have to redeem your codes that you get, but that's for another video in order to get reviews and stuff. But not a lot of these books have a whole lot of reviews either. So you could definitely get on here and compete. Another thing I noticed is that a lot of their covers are very similar looking. So you can make a cover that would stand out pretty easily on this first page and do quite well. So again, this is another one that can work for Audible and KDP. If it interests you, it's definitely something to look into for the future. So that is pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those 2 keywords for my $100 per day keywords for the month of October. I do like that the second one has potential with Audible as well, because personally, I think Audible is like the next step when it comes to publishing. It's going to blow up very soon. Even if you think it already has, it definitely hasn't. It's very small compared to KDP, which is still doing very well. So if you compare the two, Audible is just a beast awaiting to be awakened, if you want to call it that. It's something that has a lot of potential, in my opinion, moving into the new year. Before I leave though, if you're brand new to self-publishing, you're looking to get started with this and make an online income from it, you can join my 100% free mastermind Facebook group. The link is the first link in the description. If you click it, it'll take you to the page on Facebook. And if you join it, you have to answer a couple of questions. And once you're in there, you have access to my 5-step guide to getting started with self-publishing. It's 100% free. You can join the group. There's already 4,000 people in there. I know it says 2.5 in this screenshot on screen, but that's an old screenshot. It's now at like 4,500 people. So it's a very large community and you get tons of advice. You can post any questions you have about self-publishing in there. It's just a very great community. So if you want to join that, 100% free, first link in the description, you can join it and I'll see you in there. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Try to post new videos every single week, self-publishing, entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, again, make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.